Good one. Today is Monday, March 3rd, 2025. Jump date for Tuesday the 4th. All right, let's go. Well, no setups going into tomorrow. I don't like the setups on the long side. We'll take a look at BB in just 1 second. I took that one off. And then on the short side, I prefer to let the market bounce a little bit in this particular case since we're way back to oversold. Anyway, favorable move in CCL, but nothing to get excited about just yet until, of course, we're in the profit zone and ideally above that IPT. I took BB off. We've come all the way back to this breakout based on today's action. So we're going to pass on that one. CCL still looks like it's in a lot of trouble longer term. Outside day down today. So that's looking a little interesting, looking positive for us. There are some shorts in here if you felt like you had to do something. I prefer to let the market bounce again, as I just said a minute ago. Some of these, like Hood, you can see have a lot of support below, but I did want to show you what I'm seeing as far as shorts are setting up in the market. RBLX caught my eye. It does have some gaps here and there on it, but it does look like it's topped out. So I can kind of pick them apart a little bit, but there are a lot of stocks like Walmart. We've got an explosion gap pivot here. It looks like it could be in quite a bit of trouble. WRBY, another one. It looks like a major top range in place. Bow tie there. So we may go after some of these over time, but for now, let's just see what the market does. Obviously, we turn right back down today. In fact, let's jump into that. Kind of a crazy market. I was thinking earlier, boy, I'm going to end up going long tonight, but the bottom line is we just turned right back down. Outside day down in the S&P off its worst levels, but nothing to get excited about. Down 1.75%. Take a look at this Nasdaq Composite getting whacked over 2.5%, almost 2.75%. Outside day down there. Fairly ugly day, obviously. Take a look at the bow ties in downtrend proper order. Landry light below the 30, below the 50 simple, and the other bow tie moving averages, or the bow tie moving averages, I should say. Anyway, so that's looking pretty ugly. Very oversold in here. I wouldn't get too excited about that in and of itself. A lot of areas that recently were probing their brand new highs came right back in. There's robotics, cybersecurity. I always call it cybercomputing for some reason. But anyway, you can see it's pulled all the way back to where it's broken out from. So we have a lot of that action. We also have a lot of areas that are beginning to break down from the bottom of their range after breaking out, coming all the way back in. And so that's pretty ugly. As I said before, when you have a breakout followed by a breakdown or just the opposite on the long side, it will test out. I wouldn't trade off that in and of itself, but people get trapped on one side of the market and the market goes the other way. Bitcoin, which took off on Sunday, as you know, came right back in today, so that's a bit of a bummer. Cash looking a little uglier, he tried to say, than that. Gold did get a bit of a bid today. Gold stocks are getting kind of choppy, though. That's kind of a bit of a bummer, and it seems like we've said that quite a bit often, but you can see that tried to rally but came back in on the day, and I'm actually seeing some stocks that are looking a little bit more like shorts and longs, such as KGS, which we were just looking to buy not that long ago. Software, another of those areas that is down toward the bottom of its range, multi-month lows, bow tie to the downside. This is one that stalled well short of its prior high. Some areas overshot, as I've been saying, and some areas came back in. A few areas looking okay, or at least on a relative strength basis. Medical devices hanging in there. Major drugs begging out some new highs, so that's a good thing. And as I've been saying quite a bit, other defensive areas such as your foods still look okay. I just don't think you can start a bull market on those defensive areas alone. Forgot to mention the Rusty, but same as it ever was. Big fat outside day down nearly 2.75%. Jets continue to roll over, outside day down there. So kind of a reoccurring theme, just pretty ugly across the board. Mags multi-year lows well below that. The bow tie moving averages there. The Qs start to get whacked fairly hard. You can see open a gap reversal there, down 2% and change. Still within 5%, or a little more than 5%, I should say, of all-time highs, but additional weakness would be of concern. Cloud computing, none of those areas that try to get to the old highs and beyond, obviously, and then roll right back over, is now taking out the bottom of their range. I don't know what's wrong with my mouth tonight. Social media's pulled all the way back to where it's broken out from, so that's quite a bit of more ugliness, obviously. Bonds did catch a little bit of a bid, so at least something went up today. Home builders, though, back to the downside. You can see begging out new lows with a bit of vigor on a relative strength basis. Financials hanging in there, but they did probe higher and come right back in. So I really wouldn't trust any area for now, at least at this juncture. Maybe a few of those aforementioned defensive areas. Speaking of defense, health care, you can see right here at multi-month highs, one of the few areas, again, that's doing okay in this market. So what do we do? Well, I think let's sit on our hands and let things shake out a little bit. On a bounce, we'll probably see a plethora of shorts. Everybody have a fantastic night. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you so much.